Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the World of Wrestling podcast. Here today to discuss about the WWE Raw February 16th, 2026 review. Yeah, it's coming to you early, fresh off the press, and the way it's supposed to be done. Generally, I've been doing these videos generally on Tuesday nights after dinner and after work, but I figured, hey, it's over at 10:20. Come on here, get this review over and done with, and kind of give you the synopsis of this entire show in a nutshell, and give you my overall opinion. Personally, I felt this show went on too long. I don't even know if this was 2 hours and 20 minutes, or this was feeling like forever. This show was not exactly that great. It had some good things. It had some really bland shit, mostly just bland shit, and really, again, another show with no creativity. Some surprise victories in the two triple threat matches to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Asuka won and Javon Evans won. Yes, Javon Evans won to go to the Elimination Chamber to possibly challenge for a WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Obviously, he isn't going to win that match, but for him to just be in this match is very surprising. So yeah, he beat Dominic Mysterio and Gunther. I really thought that I thought Dom might have been the guy to win this match, but unfortunately he was not. Asuka won her match. I figured she was going to win, which case she did. Bayley was actually on BetUS, was actually the favorite in this matchup. So was Gunther in his, and neither one of them won. So if you have the ability to bet on BetUS, you would have lost money if you were betting on favorites tonight. So just letting you know. But this show kickstarted with Paul Heyman and The Vision. Paul Heyman is on the stage. The depleted crew of The Vision, Big Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul. Heyman tries to get the crowd's attention, but he's unsuccessful. Paul takes the microphone and says Heyman's wisdom is worth as much as the $16 million he made on a Pokemon trading card last night. I wish I could have had that card so I would have made that $16 million. Boy, would I have never had a worry in the world about my finances. The Vision gets in the ring as Paul mocks the Memphis crowd. Heyman says some footage will explain his sour mood tonight. The video airs of last week on Raw, the Masked Man attacking Austin Theory, costing him his Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Theory takes the microphone and sarcastically says it's really original to do a Masked Man gimmick. Yes, talking about the one who actually did it. That was his match to win. Everyone knows it. Even the bum-ass Usos know it. Somehow the Usos were in the audience during this promo. Why? I have no fucking idea. The Raw GM, Adam Pearce, comes out and says playtime is over. Really? This is playtime? I wish this was. I actually would enjoy myself. Unfortunately, it's not that much of a playtime when you're bored out of your mind. Generally, when you're playing, you're having fun. This was not fun. Nothing about WWE resonates fun. Resonates boredom. Resonates, can I take a nap? Resonates, can I go take a shit for the next 3 hours? I mean, you'd have to be severely constipated for that to even achieve that, but one can only hope, right? I mean, I guess if you were wanting to miss out on watching WWE and you had nothing else better to do and you were addicted to wrestling and you wanted to miss wrestling somehow and you had an excuse, I guess being constipated for 3 hours straight would probably be the best way to go. In which case you'd be working very hard on getting that turd to come out of your ass. Anyway. Anyway, Pierce wants the Vision to come to the back and talk in his office like gentlemen. Theory wants to talk about it now and says Pierce screwed him. Pierce says Theory screwed himself because his security guys could have gotten the Masked Man, but the Vision got in the way. Heyman demands that Bronson Reed be put in the Elimination Chamber, and Pierce says he's heard about the calls Heyman has made, trying to go over his head. Reed can get in the Elimination Chamber if he wins his qualifying match next week. LA Knight makes his way out, and LA Knight says the chickens have come home to roost. Theory is worried about the Masked Man, but he opened that can of worms and screwed himself. Theory is not going to the Elimination Chamber or WrestleMania. Dreams and hopes have been dashed. Yeah. Knight hopes Bronson Reed gets put in the Elimination Chamber so he can torture him in the cage. Good luck with that, LA Knight. He's pretty fucking big. They don't call him Big Bronson Reed for nothing. Anyway, after everything Reed put him through, Paul says Reed put him through a car. Knight calls Paul a broccoli-headed bitch. And Knight won't tell Pierce how to run his show, but he sees those turd stains in the ring. Speaking of turds, that word coming up again kind of makes me want to go take a shit. Actually, no, I'm doing this review. Anyway, Knight also sees the Usos, and Knight wants to team with them to take on the Vision. And Pierce asks the crowd, and they want the match. Pierce asks the Usos, and they respond with a yeet. And Pierce states it is official, and it's happening now. This match was fair, I guess. Jimmy Uso took the L here. Bronson Reed picked up the victory with the tsunami, and they walked away with the victory. Logan Paul grabs the headset after the match from Michael Cole and starts talking trash, and all of a sudden, the so-called Masked Man hits Logan Paul, with a curb stomp on the table. Reed chases the Masked Man off, and Heyman, Theory, and Reed are furious. Next Monday, Io Sky will battle Raquel Rodriguez and Kairi Sane in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. We'll also see Bronson Reed battle Jey Uso and the original El Grande Americano. Backstage segment, we have General Manager Adam Pearce walking with an assistant. They come upon a huge crate that says delivered to WWE and do not open until February 28th, 2026. What is this? A reenactment of the Big Show showing his how sorry he is gift from 2003 leading into the No Way Out pay-per-view with The Undertaker? Is that what this shit is? Someone please tell me, because I'm not really catching the message here. This seems pretty fucking retarded. Is there supposed to be a special person returning? Is it supposed to be Chris Jericho in the box? Is it Jack in the box? Like, what the fuck are we doing? A delivery to WWE don't open until the fucking Elimination Chamber. What the fuck are we doing here? God, this company is so fucking retarded. What could possibly be in that box? I have no fucking clue. Does it really matter? Probably not. And if there is, it's probably some old surprise. Some guy that we've seen before, like Chris Jericho, that might appear out of that box. Who the fuck knows? His company absolutely fucking sucks. They take anything that's enjoyable and makes it shit. I mean, seriously, guys, I know for the last couple of months I've been shitting on AEW's creative, and they deserve it. But, my God, at least their wrestling is fucking entertaining. WWE's wrestling even is not that great. Nothing about this show reeks of any kind of entertainment. It doesn't have any equivalent of fun. There's nothing fun about WWE. For me to watch this is like work, really. This is fucking work, and that's the reason why I'm doing this recording tonight, because I watched it live and I figured, what the fuck, let's get this over and done with so I don't have to do this tomorrow after work and I can just chill and relax. So here I am, talking about WWE Monday Night Raw. That absolutely sucks. I mean, at least it was better than last week's SmackDown. SmackDown this past Friday was god-awful. I mean, like, literally, I barely paid attention. Raw tonight, I did pay attention a lot more than I did with SmackDown, but still, this show sucked. I mean, this was bullshit. Pierce tells the assistant, whose name is Eli, to put the... Oh, he tells Eli, that's the guy that was assisting him with this crate, to put the crate back on the truck and send it to SmackDown for Nick Aldis to deal with. Oh, so we're trading this back and forth. Interesting. Anyway. The Los Americanos come up to Pierce, and El Grande Americano, Kaiser version, is upset about not being in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Americano wants an Intercontinental Championship match. Pierce won't give it to him, but he can earn one by beating Penta. Interesting. Next, we have a video package of Natty says a lot has changed since the last Elimination Chamber. Bayley says her WrestleMania dream was stolen from her last year. Asuka says she'll make more history and win the Elimination Chamber. These three will battle next. The Elimination Chamber qualifying match in a triple threat with Asuka, Natty, and Bayley was not a terrible matchup by any means. And I was glad to see that Asuka won. Not that she's going to win this in any way, shape, or form. But, excuse me for the yawn. Gotta forgive me for that because this show absolutely blows. But this match was not bad. It was okay. It was average. So now Asuka joins Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, and Alexa Bliss in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. A furious Natty backs up the aisleway, and Maxine Dupree viciously attacks Natty from behind, but they're quickly pulled apart. And that's that. Next, backstage, Adam Pearce is with Obafemi. Obafemi is still being persuaded by Raw and SmackDown like he's this big, hot, free agent commodity, as if he was Stone Cold Steve Austin, for God's sakes. Would somebody just put him on a show and go with it already? This shit's getting ridiculous. So Pierce says his offer is better than SmackDown's and hands Femi a contract. Femi says he needs time to decide. Femi goes to leave, but Rusev stands in his way. They stare at each other before Femi walks off. This was interesting. I like this. Rusev and him having a stare down. But does this help Rusev in any way get ahead? Probably not. He'll probably eat an L if they have a match. Would be nice if they build towards something of a grudge match leading into a pay-per-view. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. Next, we see an interview with Liv Morgan. Michael Cole and Liv Morgan sit down before Dominic Mysterio comes in. Cole isn't happy to see him, and Morgan says she isn't rushing her decision on who she's going to face at WrestleMania. Morgan says she's grinded for 10 years and won't rush. The Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer barges in and talks about grinding longer in Chile to get to WWE. Valkyr speaks only in Spanish, and Mysterio translates for Morgan while shouting back at her. And Morgan looks emotional after Valkyr leaves. Morgan starts to cry, and she walks off with Mysterio. Why this happened? Nobody fucking knows, because there's one small little fucking problem. We didn't get a translation! Oh, here's something else better. Stephanie Valkyr can speak English. Why the fuck isn't she speaking English in her promos? She does realize she's not working in Mexico. She works in the United States of America, where the majority of people speak English and don't know any other language, some of us. I mean, me, I'll just speak for myself. I know only English, and I have a hard enough time with that my own self. So, I mean, like, speak the fucking language, or don't be in a US-based company. Go to AAA or something. And please, drop the fucking title Liv Morgan already. Will we please fucking make the decision now and get this shit over with? Because this shit made absolutely no fucking sense. She's sitting there all cocky for the last couple of weeks since the Royal Rumble, and then all of a sudden, Valkyr speaks in Spanish for like 5 whole minutes, and she all of a sudden starts crying, breaking down crying like a schoolgirl who just got dumped on fucking prom night. I mean, like, what the fuck is this shit? Jesus Christ, man. That's the only one that can save me from this horrendous show is Jesus himself. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, this is just fucking retarded. And this is the only reason why I have continued to do these fucking reviews on WWE, even though I said I wouldn't after the Royal Rumble because of what happened at the Royal Rumble itself and who they chose. I honestly don't believe my channel will be successful reviewing other wrestling promotions, nor do I have a fucking clue of other wrestling promotions. I know TNA somewhat, but I wasn't really appeased by what they had to offer. The roster, it breaks down every single fucking year. Someone's leaving the company. They can't ever keep someone around unless it's somebody who has no fucking interest in bettering their career in any way, shape, or form. And this fucking company can't seem to get ahead to be at the level of a WWE AEW. So I don't fucking know. But anyway, Punk comes out to do his promo on Finn Balor. And Punk does his usual shtick before he starts his promo. Is it great to be alive on a Monday night in Memphis, Tennessee, or what? I live in Florida, so Memphis, Tennessee does not apply to me. And I hate Mondays, because that's the first day of the work week. And that means you're far away from having that 2-day relaxation that goes by so fucking quick, you blink and it's gone. Anyway, Punk says the crowd seems happy to see him. They're always happy to see you, Punk, because you're the only fucking person they can relate to. I'd rather see MJF. Thank you. Him and I have something in common. We're both Jewish. I mean, I'm half Jewish. He's full-blooded Jewish. I'm half Jewish with a little bit of Italian and Irish in me. So I like a little bit of grease and a lot of alcohol. I'm a fallen down drunk greaseball who's a cheapskate. I don't know how that works if you're fucking Italian who has a drinking problem because you're Irish, but whatever. I don't know how you can cheap out on Italian food and alcohol, but let me know how that works. Anyway, the Office isn't happy to see Punk. The Office isn't happy to see Punk. Adam Pearce thinks Punk is jeopardizing the main event of WrestleMania. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is a big deal. Punk isn't jeopardizing anything. He's making everything better. Sports franchises qualify for the playoffs. but they don't get to sit out the regular season games. The people deserve a fighting champion. He says that sports franchises qualify for the playoffs, but they don't get to sit out the regular season. Somebody ought to be fucking telling Roman Reigns that. You're the fucking champion. You're having to defend your title a month in advance before you head into the biggest WrestleMania match of your fucking pathetic career. Half of your fucking career you spent sitting on the sidelines anyway for 10 fucking years. Well, technically not 7, because he did come back in 2021 at AEW. But we won't even acknowledge that existed, right? Sure. Give me a fucking break. Oh, God, this guy. Anyway. The people deserve a fighting champion. Haven't you been defending your title? You defended your title during the European tour every fucking Monday night practically. What the fuck are you talking about, a fighting champion? How can you not say you've been a defending champion? You haven't been sitting on the sidelines waiting for your next title defense like Dominic Mysterio. Shit, that fucking guy hasn't defended his title at all. And he actually wrestled tonight, and he ain't even defending the damn title still. So, I don't know. But following that anyway, Finn Balor makes his way out to the stage with his old Demon Balor music, which I enjoyed. They had Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Had the long hair going on. He came out with long hair. It's from what this stupid WrestleView had to say about his appearance with his hair. And the 3 men surround the ring. Punk waits for them to get in the ring. And Punk, they get on the apron, and Balor tells Punk to relax. Punk isn't in trouble. At least not yet, anyway. They're not there to fight. Balor is out here to make one thing crystal clear. To be the best in the world, you have to train with the best catch wrestlers in Europe and train with luchadors in Mexico. You have to survive the toughest dojos in Japan. You have to show up on your first night on Raw and beat Roman Reigns. Basically describing himself and what he did on the WWE main roster when he first came in the first year. By that definition, Balor is the best in the world in Chicago at Elimination Chamber. When he beats Punk for the title, he's not jeopardizing the main event of WrestleMania. The real best in the world will make it better. Oh my. Would I be tuned to the idea of Finn Balor winning this match and beating CM Punk to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? I would fucking love that. That would be fucking fun as shit to see those two go at it, but that's not going to happen. Punk's walking away with this damn title, without question. A light CM Punk chant picks up, and Punk asks what those two idiots are doing here. Punk knows who Balor is. No, he means was. All of those great things Balor did are reasons he gave him the title shot in Belfast. Balor did all those things by himself. The Judgment Day wasn't there. Punk says you used to mean something, man. Judgment Day has been an anchor around Balor's neck. Someone as skilled as Balor should bring them to his level, but they dragged him down to theirs. Mysterio is wearing 2 titles and never defends them. McDonough needs help getting into the ring because his head is so big. A bobblehead chant picks up. Punk says he's been accused of being a smart man who does dumb things. Some things are out of Punk's control. Punk turns his back on them, dares them to jump him, and Balor says he's the best in the world, but Punk knows he is. He doesn't need anyone's help to prove it. Maybe Baylor does. Punk goes to the apron as Baylor holds Mysterio and McDonough back, and Punk walks off. Baylor has a little disagreement with Mysterio and McDonough in the ring, and we get further emphasis of that later on in the show backstage. So we have a backstage interview with Brian Saxton with the women's tag team champions Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. How are they holding together? Their road to WrestleMania is brutal. Ripley says the road to WrestleMania is always tough. Nia Jax and Lash Legend failed to take their titles. Jackson Legend turned up the heat, but they'll put them out. The Kabuki Warriors walk up. Kairi Sane says the Elimination Chamber is over because Asuka is in it. They will make sure Ripley and Sky never win, and Asuka isn't happy. Zane says she'll make sure Asuka is champion. Asuka says Ripley and Sky aren't ready for the chamber. Zane looks terrified. Sky checks on Zane, but Asuka screams for her, and Zane runs towards Asuka so she doesn't get even more angry at her. I honestly think the dialogue that WWE displays on their shows nowadays is like Vince McMahon-esque shit. In some cases. Other cases like the Finn Balor and CM Punk promo, I liked that. I thought that was fine. But honestly, I think the women's dialogue are just so fucking pathetic. There's another one on this show that was really like, can I just turn this TV off now? For the love of God. But anyway, El Grande Americano makes his entrance, and he'll face a mystery opponent, which was Penta. I was going to say Pentagon Jr., but it's Penta, and Penta ends up winning this matchup. Does this do anything for him? Does he challenge for the IC Championship? Like, what the fuck are we doing with Penta? Penta keeps winning matches here and there. His brother Rey Fenix continues to keep losing on SmackDown to Trick Williams. I mean, that's not a bad opponent to lose to because he's helping build him up as a new star. But fucking what the hell are we going to do with Rey Fenix? He's just going to... His stock continues to continue to drop. So I'm fucking clueless on that. The original Americano actually showed up during this match, and Penta bumps fists with the original El Grande Americano before leaving the ring, and the original attacks Americano and hits a back body drop. The original hits a Chaos Theory German suplex and poses, and Americano as Chad Gable goes after the mask, but the Los Americanos pull him away. Wow, really great stuff here. Anyway, the Judgment Day Clubhouse. The dejected Liv Morgan is sitting in Dominic Mysterio's arms. Raquel Rodriguez wants to help her and pulls her away. JD McDonough says he wants to help Finn Balor become world champion. Balor says if he really wants to help, he can let him do this alone. They walk off. Mysterio says he still has a match as well and he could really use the help. So apparently Judgment Day may end up being dropped completely. There might not be like one member dropping out of the Judgment Day one at a time and finding a new member. It may be like they just implode and then just split instantaneously. That's kind of the direction I'm getting with this. And this might lead to a Dominic Mysterio Finn Balor grudge where Dom gets upset with Finn. If it wasn't for him, the Judgment Day would still exist. Yada, yada, yada. And this could lead to an Intercontinental Championship match, which I think would probably be the next best thing. Drew McIntyre defending his WWE title. A lot of people still think it's going to be Cody. I think it's Cody as well. Someone mentioned on one of the reviews I watched over this past Friday for SmackDown, someone posed an idea on Bobby Monsoon's podcast that maybe if they do go in the direction of Cody Rhodes, the best thing they could really do with Drew and Cody is have it inside Hell in a Cell. I like that idea. It really closes out the rivalry completely. It's definitely a noteworthy main event night 1 match, I would say. I would not book this over the CM Punk Roman Reigns match. There's no fucking way you put Roman Reigns in night 1's main event. That's just a fucking slap in his face. I mean, then you're just shoving Cody Rhodes down people's throats. At this point, you already are. But at least somebody else new and fresh who hasn't been in the main event, the true main event of WrestleMania, will be there. And I think this is great for Punk. This is probably about the only good reason why I like this situation with Roman Reigns being booked with CM Punk, because it does give CM Punk the real legitimate main event match for WrestleMania. And this will be for night 2. I'm at least hoping so. I would hate to think they put him on night 1 main event. Shit. That would really fucking piss me off. Because this match should be the main event of night 2. The closer of the actual pay-per-view that ends the weekend. So, yeah. Anyway, we move on to the next biggest load of crap walking on the face of the earth of the show. AJ Lee addressing Becky Lynch. 2 weeks in a row, this segment with these two women have been horrendous. I don't know if this is being done deliberate or they're just that bad at their job instantaneously all of a sudden. I have no fucking clue. But the last 2 segments with these 2 women for the past 2 weeks have been mind-numbingly retarded. It really insults my intelligence. It makes Becky Lynch look like a fucking Nimrod. And AJ Lee seems like she's trying to figure out what the fuck she wants to say before she says it. And thinking of her words carefully before she says them. I have no idea. But this shit sucks. Let me read it to you. So AJ Lee skips down the ring. Oh boy, oh boy. I really could live without her being on my television set, honestly. At one point I was inviting the idea of her being on WWE programming. I am now got my fill of AJ Lee. She can now get off my television. Please. She is doing nothing for this show. Absolutely fucking nothing. But anyway, let's go ahead and get through this segment and go over it. Last week, she came out for moral support and left as the number 1 contender for the IC Championship. How she did that, I have no fucking idea outside of saying she wanted a shot for the damn title to begin with. She says it's been fun getting under Becky Lynch's skin, but Lynch reminded her that this is a tough business by driving her into the ring post. She hasn't had a singles match in over a decade, let alone a title shot. The women's division is different. Last time, all they had to fight for was a sparkly butterfly belt. But she wore that title proudly because she made that title. Lee knows who she is and isn't modest. There was a women's division before AJ Lee and one after her. That was her gift to the women in the back. I'll give her credit. She did open up the doors to women's wrestling and made it important along with Paige. Lee wants to face the best of the best, like Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, the Kabuki Warriors, Judgment Day, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. Unfortunately, all roads lead to Becky Lynch. She doesn't know why Lynch is so mad. I don't know, maybe because you keep fucking her over in her matches, and on top of it, she keeps losing to you? I would be pretty pissed off my own self. Isn't it because her merchandise sells better than Lynch's? She gave Lynch a 10-year head start, and Lynch still hasn't caught up. Still, Lynch gave her a gift. If not for her, Lee wouldn't get back in the ring to prove she can go or that she can be a champion. If she leaves Chicago as champion, she's walking into WrestleMania as one. Lee says she knows Lynch is here and calls her out, and then Becky Lynch heads to the ring, and Lynch says Lee isn't getting a title opportunity. She's getting the chance to gather her family and friends in Chicago for the send-off and retirement match she didn't get and doesn't deserve. She wants Lee's family to cry while she pushes her hearse. Okay, Lynch has been making history while Lee has been writing comic books. If Lee makes it through their match, she can dictate her next one while she's in a full body cast. Nice. Lee says they can save the match for Chicago, but she wants Lynch in the ring now. Lynch says, if Lee thinks she's stupid, she knows Lee will sucker punch her the minute she gets in the ring, and Lee offers to put her hands behind her back. Lynch gets in the ring, but she's too scared to hit her. Lynch leaves and says she doesn't fight in Memphis. This segment, my friends, was the worst segment of the entire night. I mean, you're sitting there, if this was the Attitude Era, there would have been fists flying and rolling around, smashing each other, beating each other up, and then eventually pulling each other apart. That's what we would have had during this segment. No, we have Lynch hesitating, second-guessing herself, and not pulling the fucking trigger when it was absolutely necessary. This was a moment to create something memorable. This was a brawl that was necessary. Triple H loves his brawls. He loves his fucking brawls. He had an opportunity for the perfect moment for that, and instead, he goes with the, I hate you, but I'm not going to hit you. What the fuck are you doing with Becky Lynch? You're making her look fucking retarded. She sounds retarded with her dialogue. What they're giving her to say is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't understand how you go with Becky Lynch last year doing great promos as a heel with Lyra Valkyria to now she's coming across like the fucking Becky Lynch we used to see when she'd say her championship was her precious, like it was fucking Lord of the Rings. God, this company is so fucking inept. Your moment of time to do what you love to do best, and that's brawls. This was the moment to have one. No, we don't go with that one. We decide to have Becky Lynch look like a fucking pussy going into the Elimination Chamber. Yeah, she's going to win the fucking title. She's going to retain the title, folks. Yeah. She probably will end up having a DQ, have a 15-minute match that'll probably be good, and then end it with a fucking dumbass ending with a fucking disqualification. This company's retarded. Or fucking AJ Lee's going to win and then lose the title right back to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Which then again won't make any fucking sense either. This company's fucking shit. Anyway. Raw GM Adam Pearce happens upon, or bumps into the Vision. I don't know what the fuck this guy was writing. Jesus Christ. Austin Theory's irate over Logan Paul getting attacked by the Masked Man and heads back. He also can't even open the fucking door to get out of the building. You hear him clanking on the door multiple times, complaining about how Logan Paul got attacked and how he didn't like it. And he's continuously trying to open the door and can't. And on the second or third try, he finally does. Fucking dumbasses. God, this company's retarded. Theory has trouble opening the door, as I already mentioned. Pierce says the Masked Man is just a big problem for him, as it is for the Vision. Bronson Reed says he's a problem solver and will solve this himself, as well as win his match. Next week on Raw, we'll have a tribute to AJ Styles. What? Why are we having a tribute to AJ Styles? He retired at the Royal Rumble on January 31st. It took you a month to finally give him a fucking retirement tribute? Fucking retards. Absolutely retarded. Whatever, man. I don't care. I really don't fucking give a shit. Whatever. Dummies on parade. Anyway, we had I believe the main event was the next thing, and then we were done with this Fakakta show. Hopefully. I would imagine. I mean, I did watch it, so yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, it was the Elimination Chamber qualifying match as the main event for the triple threat match between Javon Evans, Gunther, and Dominic Mysterio. This match was good. I liked this main event. Thought it was fair. Good action all around. Thankfully, Gunther did not get in the match because he would have had to take an L in this matchup. Dragon Lee was the one who actually interfered in the match to help distract Gunther and eventually get him knocked out of the match completely. And then it was just between Dominic Mysterio and Javon Evans. And Javon Evans picks up the victory with the original, I believe, the OG cutter, I believe is what they call it. Pretty certain of that. Yeah, he hits the OG cutter and walks away with the victory. And that's how the show goes off the air, with him celebrating in the middle of the ring. And that's pretty much it. That's your show, guys. Great main event. Some good action overall. I mean, it wasn't bad, but story-wise, nothing much. Nothing much at all. Felt like this show was going on forever. But anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.